Hey guys, Michael Eaton here in Orlando, Florida, and I wanted to take just a few moments to go ahead and share 5 valuable tips that I want to give to you if you're pursuing magic full-time in the year 2018, okay, which is just about a few days away yet. So these 5 tips are free. I'm not charging you anything. I just want you to really understand what you're getting yourself into. And if I could go back in a time machine like 25 years ago and share anything with my younger self when I decided to start doing magic full-time or for living, making money, these are the 5 things that I would have told myself, okay? And it's funny because through trial and error, you always learn these things, but this is something that, I wanted to help you with, and hopefully it'll help you as well. So let's get started. Now, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Eaton. I'm actually I do marketing and design. I did magic for 25 years. Occasionally, I still do a few shows here in Orlando for a few of my really good clients. And these 5 tips I'm going to share with you right now are really what you should be focusing on if you plan on doing magic full-time or even part-time in the years to come. Okay, so let me go ahead and start out by talking about tip number 1. And that is knowing your market. Okay, this is the most important factor of all, because too many people, too many magicians, they try to spread themselves very thin. Okay, they try to cover every piece of the pie, and they really become a generalist. And what that means is they don't really have a specific focus, okay, on one particular area or a market. And so what happens is that you're not able to really command the fees that you should, because people don't look at you or look up to you as a specialist in that specific field, okay? Think about it. Brides, they are looking for somebody to make their event amazing, okay? So chances are, if you're a magician, you have a decent chance of getting booked. But if you call yourself a wedding magician, the chances go straight through, because that title sort of makes it look like you are specifically focused in that one area, okay? Now, think about this. A doctor makes about $250,000 a year, but a neurosurgeon can make anywhere between $2 to $3 million a year, depending on the area. And why is that? Because the neurosurgeon is a specialist. He or she has a very specific skill set, and a group of people that are actively looking for this skill set will seek them out for their professional advice, okay? And that's what you want to do. You want to basically position yourself within a specific market, okay, so you can increase your transaction rates, you can increase your authority inside of that field, okay? It doesn't matter what it is. I'm assuming a majority of you that are watching this video are probably children's entertainers, and that's fine. Just understand when it comes to your brand that you are marketing yourself as a children's entertainer. More specifically, it could go into a bigger, sort of a deeper niche, maybe libraries, right? Schools or libraries. That is actually one level deeper as opposed to just children's entertainer. Now we go down to the substructure, which is actually libraries and schools, okay? Or it could be daycares. Daycares is another very sub-niche of children's entertainers. Do you see where I'm going with this? So make sure that whenever you're putting together your business plan, if you have a business plan, that you understand who your audience is, where your market lies, and then do what you can to position yourself inside of that particular group. Network just like you would in real life with those like-minded people that you're trying to target, that audience, okay? So focus on that, and I promise you that you will be able to gain more work out of that, okay, if you keep your focus on one level. Don't try to be all over the place, okay? So that's my first tip. Number 2, we're going to provide more value, okay? This is very important. Once you've established who your market is, now what is it that you're going to give them, and how much are you going to ask for, right? So typically price is determined off of a few factors. Those factors, the main ones, are usually value, okay? So that means that if the price is good and your reputation is in place, you're credible, you're reliable, you're affordable, okay, that means that the price usually is okay, and because you stack the value so high. Now, I'm not talking about taking money off the table, which is what we're going to talk about next, but have you positioned yourself in such a way that the value that you're creating for your customer is worth the money, okay? So ask yourself that. Let me give you an example. You've been to McDonald's before, right? So you go through the drive-thru, and now you can order a hamburger by itself for $3, or for $1 more, you get a Coke and fries, right? So this is called a value meal. Why? Because you're basically bundling multiple items, and you're spending less than what you would if you were to buy these items separately, okay? So keep that in mind whenever you're approaching somebody or you're having an inbound lead that's asking you about what do you do. So make sure that you have a variety of services that you can offer, bundled together, stacking the value. That's what we call it in marketing, stacking value, in order to go ahead and justify the price on that. Okay, so if you happen to have, let's say, face painting services, or you happen to have balloons, or you do magic, all that can be bundled together. Okay, now again, those are services. Don't get those confused with niche markets. Okay, two different things. A market is an audience that you're looking to sell these things to. Okay, what you're selling themselves though is value. So you have different layers, you have different items that you can sell: balloons, face painting, magic, stuff like that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Those are all services that you can offer, and if you create enough value and you put together that value, your chances of selling it for the price that you're asking for it immediately go up. Okay, so just understand what the value is. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, leave money on the table. And what does that mean? So just a second ago, we talked about establishing value, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to reduce your rate. You don't want to basically take money off the table, okay? And here's why. What happens is that it makes you look almost desperate for the gig. You don't want to do that. In other words, what you don't want to do is you don't want to say, okay, Betsy, my show fee is $300, but I understand that there's a guy that you're already talking to, so let me take off $50 just to go ahead and beat him to it, okay? You don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to lower your rates. What you want to do is you want to add more value. So if you said, hey, Betsy, my price is very fair at $300. I understand you're looking for somebody else, but here's what I'll do. If you go ahead and book in the next 24 hours, I'll include right? So you're adding more value. Now listen, you don't have to have tons of money that you're losing on this service, okay? It can be easy as an upsell. That's all it is. You're basically giving them something of a certain perceived value. So let's say, for example, I've seen some guys out there that do popcorn machines. I don't know, I've never done that before. I'm not a kids performer. But what happens is the perceived value on that popcorn machine is that you normally would rent that out for $200 or something like that, right? Or a cotton candy machine. And some people also do a face painting, right? So that could be another one. So instead of just doing magic, what if I go ahead and include 30 to 45 minutes of face painting inside of the show, right? So then after the magic show, I can sit around and I can actually help all your entertainers or your audience. I can handle the kids. We can do face painting. Or you might bring something else, maybe some grab bags or something like that you'll include as a bonus if they go ahead and order your package now, okay? So just think about that. Don't ever take money off the table, but see if you can bring more value with either an additional service or if it's a well-priced product that you have a really huge amount of margin on, go ahead and include that as well. If that means that you'll get that gig booked in the next 24 hours. So. Alright guys, a huge one right now we're going to talk about is having systems and processes in place. Now what does this mean? A lot of people will use good old snail mail sometimes. They'll use just a generic email. What you want to do is whenever you have a company, whenever you have a business, especially online, there has to be an outbound, inbound reciprocation, okay, of communication. Now having a system in place like a booking system or a sales system or a follow-up system, these are very, very crucial, okay? This is going to add speed of implementation to your business. It's going to help you also book and process shows faster, okay? And that's also going to help you build more revenue in your business. So what do I mean by a process? So let's take, for example, the movie The Founder, right? That just had Michael Keaton in it this year. What happened was that he saw that the brothers that were creating McDonald's actually developed a system, a process, if you will, in the back of the house for the flow of how everything was going to have. You had one workstation for buns. You had one workstation for onions, pickles, and lettuce. So there was a whole flow to the way a hamburger was made, which is why they could make them as fast as they could in under 30 seconds because there was a system in place, right? The same thing applies to your business. Make sure that you have a system for all inbound leads, okay? Now some people just take it, here's usually what people do. When I say people, I mean magicians. They'll get a lead, and then they'll try to always sell them on the phone. They'll always jump on the phone because they're desperate. They're wanting to book that show. They don't want to lose that money. But guys, it's okay? Sometimes you're going to have to say no. You have to get used to saying no because that's going to allow you to make more money, okay? Why waste your time on people that don't value your time than others that do, right? There's an old saying, it says never make somebody a priority who makes you an option. So keep that in mind whenever you're actually taking all these inbound leads, okay? Pre-qualify. Make sure that they're the right person for you that you want to work with. Not only now, but 10 times in the future too, okay? Remember the lifetime value of that client, not just the one-time opportunity. So again, let's think about this, right? There's a great system that Michael Carducci put together called Showbiz CRM, right? Well, it phased out. Now there's a new one that he built called Mago, M-A-G-O, okay? You have to check this out, guys. It's an amazing system, and it's created for magicians and entertainers by a magician, and he's a great entertainer. So Michael's developed a system that it has a pipeline. It shows you inbound leads. It shows you converted leads. It shows you potential leads. You also have a calendar. You have a whole structure in there that handles payments. So whenever your customer comes in, right, are you taking the time to sit down and actually write them an email, or is that how do you have all that free time available, or do you have a system that's in place that will automatically respond to that client and start to go ahead and go through the process of getting more information or providing them with more information so they can make that booking process faster and easier, right? A lot of guys make the mistake, and this is, I'm not calling anybody out, okay? They'll get on the phone as fast as they can and they try to sell on emotion, okay? It does not always work. And why? Because you don't want to lose money. So many magicians are not disciplined enough to understand what their value is, okay? When you jump on the phone and you start selling, listen, you're a great magician, but some people just are really horrible salespeople, okay? They actually use emotion when selling, and that's really what you don't want to do, okay? You don't want to use emotion when it comes to selling, because now what's going to happen is you're going to try to make a new best friend on the phone, and you're going to lower your price so you can beat out the guy across the street that's going to charge $100 less than you are. Don't be that guy, okay? Make sure that you have a process in place and a plan in place to where you can weed out your people that are coming into you. Remember, they're coming to you. You're not going to them, okay? So they are coming into you. If you're using inbound marketing properly, they're coming to you, okay? If you're cold calling, it's like swimming upstream, okay? That's just the way I look at it. You're gonna have a harder time selling and convincing and justifying. You haven't positioned yourself as an authority. You haven't done anything to build your reputation up in their minds. So that's why it's so much harder going and cold calling and trying to approach places as opposed to letting them come to you, okay? So just remember that, okay? Get a system in place, a process in place, understand your worth and your value, and then have a proper plan of action whenever those inbound leads come in, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about follow-ups. This is the last topic we're going to talk about, but follow-ups is just as important. Now, you heard me talk about the lifetime value, right? That means if you have a lead that comes in and books you for a gig, what are the chances that they're also going to refer you to somebody else? They're going to also, you're going to make more money off them in future events, maybe 2 or 3 birthday parties. Maybe it's an anniversary party. Maybe it's an Easter party. Maybe it's a Christmas party. You see what I'm saying? So all that is encompassed within the lifetime value of that specific client. So many people, magicians, think about the one-time gig. Okay, I'm going to get $500 off of them now. They don't have long-term thinking. They don't think about, okay, so this guy works for a company where he's making $120,000 a year, and he's also a decision maker that can hire me for his company party where I can make another $3,000 off of him in December. Oh, wait a second, he's got 2 kids? Awesome, now I can do their birthday parties. Wait a second, his niece is getting married? I can do her wedding event. Do you see what I'm going with this? So there's a lifetime value associated with each and every client that you're working for. So always remember that, okay? It's not the one-time gig, it's the lifetime value that you're getting off of that one client. So make sure that you have a system in place to where, and when they initially come in, they're handing over their information, their name, their email, right? Preferably their credit card, but if not, it's okay. As long as you have a way to continuously stay in touch with them, and you use strategies, and you use implementation of automation, that is Mago. Again, it's a great CRM system, okay? It doesn't have to be Mago. It can be any CRM system that allows you to continue a follow-up process. Now remember, don't think salesy. Don't think, oh, I'm being too clingy, okay? That's not what it's about. You've already pre-qualified these people. These people have already shown interest in your product, or they've already paid you. Now, there's an 83% chance that when prompted, And because they know, like, and trust you already, they'll pay you again. Okay, it's all this. This is not new. This goes back years in marketing and also in sales. Okay, so once you've established that relationship with that client, make sure that you're utilizing that list. You're going continuously after that list. It doesn't have to be every day. Maybe once a month, twice a month. If you want to drip out something very valuable, let's say you get on a show like Penn and Teller, right? Use that list to go back and say, hey guys, did you see what happened to me in March? Check this out. You're never going to believe it. There's a link to your Penn and Teller show, right? What you're doing is you're gradually dripping information, but you're creating more value inside of your business and your brand, okay? You're adding to your credibility, your authority, okay? So all you're doing in their mind is you're just stacking up more reasons to hire you, okay? So, and then when you're ready to push a promotion, like let's say a holiday party booking or a Easter booking, now they're primed, okay? Why? Because you stayed relevant to them that whole time throughout the year. And not only that, but after the event, 10 weeks after the event, 6 months after the event, you're continuously staying in touch because you've implemented a follow-up strategy. Okay, so make sure you have a plan like that in place as well. So I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe down below if you want to. I guess you don't have to subscribe because this is on Facebook, but if you want to go ahead and like it, you can. Feel free to share it too with other people that you feel could benefit off this information in the entertainment community, okay? So guys, my name is Michael Eaton. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and prosperous new year, and I hope you guys kill it and crush it in 2018, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.